Hello everyone, Marlene here. Welcome back to my channel if you've been here before, and if you haven't been here before, then welcome. Today I have for you an Easter video. I'm going to show you how I decorate everything in my home for Easter, and I've also included some video of thrifting for Easter items in a couple of different stores. So I hope you enjoy the video. So I thought I would show you everything I'm going to use in my Easter decor. I'll soon be putting it up as soon as St. Patrick's Day is over. So I thought the way I would do this is I would show you first what I had in my stash. Then I'll show you what I recently picked up to add to the decor. Because I always decorated for my kids and my grandkids, I found that most of my items for Easter were based on children. So I needed to pick up a few more things that were more, not necessarily adult-like, but a little more better quality. Things that would last through the years and that I could use year after year. So I'm going to start here. This pile of florals is what is left over from making a couple of wreaths. Last year I was doing them for craft projects and for a craft sale. And I will show you a couple of the wreaths that I made. And then I will show you later where I styled them. So this first one, I painted the wreath in a chalk paint, and then I just decorated it with all of the florals. And because these didn't sell, I'm going to be putting them up in my decor this year. So that's one. Then another one I had is this one. And again, I made this wreath just from dollar store items and some flowers I picked up. The little nest I made myself, and I painted the egg. Another one. And then I have a third wreath, and it's already styled on my front door. So I will show you that. So this is the third wreath that I made, and it's hanging on my front door. And it's for spring and for Easter. The next items that I had in my stash were items that I crafted last year as well. I made two of these garlands, wooden bead garlands. It was similar, but it had a bunch of crystals on one end and an egg on another end. So I'll be using those as well in my decor. Then this flock bunny I got last year at an antique store. I think he's pretty vintage, but there was no sticker or anything on him to identify him. Then last year I also picked up this little bird. I'll be using him either in my floral arrangements or on my tiered tray. Speaking of which, this is my tiered tray. I just picked this up on Amazon and put it together and painted it with, dry brushed it with some chalk paint. The next items that I had are some books that I'll be using. I had this one, The Velveteen Rabbit. Then these are antique books. They are flocked on the outside. That one and this one. So I'll be styling those in there. And then I have this one. It's about a rabbit. This one, just because I like the colors. And then this last one is called Little Big Ears and the Princess. So it's another story about a rabbit. Then I dug out of my stash some of these handkerchiefs and doilies. I just pulled out anything that was spring-like or for Easter, those colors. And then I have a vintage tablecloth that I think I'm going to try also on my table, and we'll see how that turns out. And then as far as my stash goes, the only other thing that I have is some of these eggs, big and small, and I'm probably going to do another craft with those before I put them out. So I said I would show you any crafted eggs that I made. Using those plastic eggs, I just simply took out my glue gun and I covered them in various things. This one is like a gingham ribbon. And this one, it turned out kind of an oddball shape because of the, I guess because of the thickness of the ribbon that I used. It's almost like fur, but it's very soft. Turned out really pretty, and I just put this butterfly on the front of it, and it sits in the egg cup in my decoration, and it sits in there just fine. And then the last one I decorated is this one, and this was actually a ribbon that I had got to decorate my junk journals, and the flowers were really pretty. So I just went around and around and glued a bunch of those on, and they were just put in this basket for a decoration there. And I just styled this on top of my mantle. And that's all I did for decorating eggs. Then next, the first place I went was to the dollar store, and I picked up a few items there. I picked up these honeycomb decorations. They were $2.75, and you get 5 different colors, and they're a nice size. They're all 8 inches. I picked up 2 of these metal stakes for $2.25 each. They're going to go outside in my outside decorations. Some of these. Then I picked up a bunch of florals, and I won't go through the price of all of them because there's quite a few. I picked up this bunch because I really like to color those. Hellebores are one of my favorite flowers in the spring, so I grabbed some of those. And this little metal watering can was $5. And I also grabbed this flower pot. I really like the look of that, and it was $3. Inside it I have some colored foam eggs, and they were $1.50, and the larger ones were $3.50. I got this Easter standing wooden ornament or decoration, and it was $4.50. And oh, and this nest, I picked that up also at the dollar store, and it was $3.50. I got this large pottery mushroom for $4, and it's quite nice. It's meant to be outside, I think, because it would then make a noise outside, but I'm not sure where I'm gonna use it yet. Then I went to a couple of thrift stores. I went to a small one about 20 minutes from where I live that I'd never been to before, but I did pick up a couple things from there. So I got this metal basket. I got this one candied egg, this doily, which I thought was nice colors for Easter and for spring. I picked up these two little porcelain items. They're probably meant for pillar candles, but I want to use them as risers in my decor. And then I grabbed these two large tassels for window treatments, and I just grabbed those because I really liked them and they were a good price. So for all of those items, it only cost me $4. So at this little store, it was the first time I'd been there, and it was quite small. I actually think it's a new startup. Mostly clothing, but they had 3 or 4 shelves of hard goods, and they had some linens and a few toys and books and such. So I was through this in about, I'd say, 10 minutes, but I did manage to find a couple things, and I will show those to you as we go. I really looked at this cake plate. It would have been a great plate to use for Easter, maybe as a riser, but I did not end up picking it up. I never noticed these green flower frogs until I was editing this video. If I had of, I would have grabbed them. Everything here was really reasonably priced. There were no prices on anything, but they gave you a good deal when you bundled everything. And as well, I wish I'd also noticed these 2 butter molds. Now that I'm editing, I see them and they look fantastic. After that, I went to another little store in the same town called My Country Home. There are two buildings to this store. The first one is like a little cabin. It's quite rustic inside. And the items that are for sale in here are mostly metal signs, wooden signs, and other items. Some are made by local artisans, and some are just items the store owner has brought in for sale. There are some seasonal decor items kept in this building, some for Christmas, some for summer, fall. She doesn't seem to put these away, she just keeps adding to them. I did not buy anything from this building. I did have fun walking around and seeing what she had available, but I did not need any signs, any wreaths, or anything like that. I just found it really interesting and thought I would check out the building to see what she had that was new. Anytime now that I see sunflowers or any flowers that are this bright yellow, oranges and browns, I think of another YouTuber. Her name is Becky, and her YouTube channel is My Little Vintage Home. If you haven't ever watched any of her videos, go check it out. She makes home decor videos, thrifting videos, and she does vlogs as well. And she does a wonderful job of them, and she's such a happy, wonderful person. So go check out her video, and you will see at the start of the next building when I go in there, there are a lot more sunflowers and metal signs, and they really made me think of her. So, hi Becky. Her prices in this building were not bad at all. This little tin pot was originally $5.95 and it was on sale for $4. And another example is this dragonfly. It was $15.95. All these metal signs are made by a local artisan. And you can also see in the background here in a minute that she also has a lot of second-hand books, and they are for sale for quite a cheap price. And now we're moving on into the second building. This is the front porch of the building, and here are some more yellow and orange items that made me think of Becky. So inside this second building, there was a real mix of items. Again, some of them were made by local artisans, including some handmade soaps, some wood-turn bowls, some knitted items for dolls, some locally made pottery items such as cups, bowls, and plates. And she also had some second-hand items that were thrifted from somewhere. So I will just pan around the store a little bit, and after this I will show you what I picked up from this lady. And then I also picked a few things there. I grabbed some of these leaves for floral arrangements, and I really like these. They're kind of rubbery, and I love the bluish tone to them. They seem and feel very real. So I picked those up. I got two kinds, I can separate them. This one is more like a fern. Two little pip beads. They're Easter colors and spring colors as well. And I got this rabbit from there. And then I got this little porcelain rabbit from there as well. And neither one of them are marked, but they were each $4.95. And these all together were about $9 for all four of the sticks. So unless something else comes up, that's what I have to decorate with. And once I've styled some of it, then I will come back and show you where I put it and what I did. So I did have to pull some more things out of my stash of vintage and antique items to fill my tier tray. I didn't have enough small items. So this is how my tiered tray turned out. I will just pan around it and give you a quick view of the items that I placed on it. Also, as you can see, I did end up putting this tablecloth on my table. It was too small to cover the whole table, so I just folded it and placed it down the center like a runner. And now going into my living room, I will go around the living room and show you the different areas of Easter decor that I have put out here. This area is part of my gallery wall. And here there is a wooden item on the wall that has numerous slots in it, and I use it to put my vintage and antique postcards in it. This basket, I forgot to show it and mention it's part of my stash. It was given to me by a friend. It's a few years old, and I have styled it here with some Easter items in it. Next, I am showing the top of one of my curio cabinets. I have two of these, and they flank my fireplace. This is the left-hand side one. Moving on, I'm showing you the top of my mantle. These flowers are styled in a tall, about a 23.5-inch vase. It's a vintage L.E. Smith swung vase. Then I'm showing various items that I have styled here, including some vintage cards that I have kept through the years, postcards, birds, a little vintage dish with various little crosses in it. And this planter is a Hall vintage planter full of some Easter eggs. And then beside it, I have that silver basket that I showed that I picked up at the thrift store with eggs in it. And some various other items, a trinket box and some different eggs and books and some different pieces of jewelry that I've styled in this green alabaster trinket box that I thought looked rather spring-like. And then this is where I styled that other wreath that I had showed you at the beginning of the video. It's above my mantle. And then next we move on to the curio cabinet that is on the right hand side of my mantle. This is where I put the little nest and the little white bird and one of the books. Next is a small curio cabinet that I have beside one of my couches. On it I have styled that wooden Easter sign and a rabbit and a candle and a few other things here. Moving over the couch, there's my little pup, Benjamin Button. And beside the couch, our other little pup, Darby, who's a mini schnauzer, and they're busy watching something out the window. Between two of our chairs on this small end table is where I put one of the tin buckets with the flowers that I styled inside it, and also the porcelain, or rather pottery, green mushroom. And then moving on from there, in the center of the room, we have this large ottoman which we use as a coffee table. I placed a tray on it, and in there I have the other tin pitcher of flowers that I styled, including the hellebores that I like, one of those pop open eggs, and a small game I picked up from the dollar store. And that's the end of my Easter thrift and style video. I hope you enjoyed watching it, or at least parts of it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope everyone has a wonderful Easter. Bye-bye for now.